ការសម្រាប់បន្តិចដើម្បីយើងនាំណែនាំអស់លោកស្រីទាំងអស់ឲ្យស្គាល់វាគ្មានថ្មីមួយទៀតដែលមានឈ្មោះនៅក្នុងសហគមន៍យើងដែរគឺលោក Louis Haskell ដូច្នេះបន្ទាប់ទៅនេះអស់លោកស្រីសូមមេត្តាតាមដាននីតិមតិយើងនៅជុំវិញរឿងស្ត្រីខ្មែរនៅក្នុងការបោះឆ្នោតខែវិច្ឆិកាទី4ខាងមុខនេះចាដូច្នេះអស់លោកស្រីសូមមេត្តាតាមដានដូចតទៅបន្ទាប់ពីការសម្រាកនេះចាសូមអរគុណយើងមានបញ្ហា technical problem បន្តិចចាតែឥឡូវនេះយើងសូមសម្រាប់ចាអរគុណ So after the break I will introduce you. Thank you for coming. Sophia.
You know, it's a tax that people pay more or less equally. So you probably pay as much gas tax as, you know, we all probably pay similar amounts of gas tax. So but it's really a very offensive tax from my point of view. Because what it is, first and foremost, is a tax on working people. And, you know, it's funny because in my bankruptcy practice, I go over people's budgets. I mean, that's part of the process. And the single greatest predictor of what people spend on gasoline is how far they drive to go to work. You know, when gasoline prices rise, people will, and this has been well studied, people will you know, go on staycations. They'll stay home rather than going out. They will cut back on trips to the beach. They will cut back on trips to the mall. They will cut back on any number of things. They'll become more efficient in their grocery shopping.
Can I just translate to our viewer first? លោកមេធាវី Louis Haskell បានមានប្រសាសន៍ថាការដំឡើងថ្លៃពន្ធចំពោះសាំងប្រេងឥន្ធនៈទាំងអស់នេះគឺជាការមិន fair មិនសមរម្យចំពោះអ្នកដែលធ្វើការព្រោះពួកយើងដែលធ្វើការត្រូវការចាក់សាំងទៅធ្វើការជាពិសេសអ្នកដែល commute ដូចជាទៅធ្វើការនៅ Boston បើកឡាន1ម៉ោងដូច្នេះយើងទិញសាំងថ្លៃហើយត្រូវបង់តាក់ទៅលើសាំងថ្លៃទៀតហើយសំណួរទី1ហ្នឹង question 1ហ្នឹងបានន័យថាសុំកុំឲ្យរដ្ឋការដំឡើងតាក់ជាស្វ័យប្រវត្តិដូចនេះបើរដ្ឋការចង់ដំឡើងតាក់ជាស្វ័យដំឡើងតាក់ត្រូវមានការបោះឆ្នោត vote សិនចា
And that's correct. I mean, the one thing that people have the hardest time changing is how far they drive to work and how many days a week they go to work. And that is something that they have to do. And so this is a tax, as I say, that falls disproportionately upon working people and that working people are the least able to defend themselves from. And it can be a significant portion of a lot of working people's budgets. You know, I have clients who commute. I mean, not just to Boston. I mean, you know, that, I have actually clients who, for whatever reason, commute to Fall River. I mean, some of them are, for example, work in construction trades, and they just go wherever they're sent, kind of a thing. And you know, can spend $300 in a week, or $200 in a week on gasoline, no problem. But almost everybody with a job spends at least $50 to $100 on gasoline.
Right.
And you know, and that's a significant part of almost anybody's budget. And just to say, okay, we're gonna, you know, it's only a nickel. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. That's.
Well, when you fill up the tank, it costs a lot of money.
Yes.
It seems like this tax falls on the consumer, like you said, the working people. What about the people who are well off, who are generating the gas? What's their responsibility in taking charge of, you know, it seems it's unfair, it's a one-sided.
Well, right. You know, when you say that it's a tax on working people, when you say that almost, you know, everybody spends a similar amount, you're correct. It's a tax that really does not vary with income, unlike, say, the income tax. In fact, or even the sales tax, where people who make more spend more and whatever. There is very little correlation between a person's income and the amount that they drive. In
and
fact,
to fix it that way, that's kind of like you said. Even the gas price go down, the tax stay the same.
Is that
right,
correct?
that is correct. It is indexed in one direction.
Exactly.
And the indexing is something that I find a little bit offensive, just because it keeps, future legislatures from having to answer, for this. I think that if the state wants to take more of our money from us, the state should ask, that they should stand up and vote and be counted.
Right, yeah. So what about question 2? So ខ្ញុំសួរលោកមេធាវីថាចុះពីរឿងសំណួរទី2វិញតើលោកមានយោបល់យ៉ាងណាដែរចា៎
That, of course, is the bottle bill. Yes, the bottle bill. It's funny. I think the reason that old people like me get cynical is because we're around long enough to see situations change, but the arguments remain exactly the same. I was in college when the original bottle bill passed, and I supported it. In the 1980s, it was a great idea. And it was a great idea in the 1980s because in the 1980s, it was hard to recycle. You really had to make, if you wanted to recycle, you really had to make an effort to do it.
Can I just translate first?
Sure.
លោកមេធាវីLouis Haskell បានមានប្រសាសន៍ថាកាលពីឆ្នាំ1990នោះ was it 1980?
It was 1984, I believe. No, 82. 1982, I believe, that the bottle bill passed.
ហ្នឹងយើងទាំងអស់គ្នាមានការពិបាកក្នុងរឿង recycling ចាហើយលោកបាន vote yes នៅសំណួរហ្នឹងព្រោះយើងមានការពិបាកប៉ុន្តែដល់ពេលឥឡូវនេះស្ថានភាពផ្លាស់ប្ដូរវិញចា
And as I say, if you wanted to recycle in those days, you had to, gather up all your bottles and cans or whatever, and pack them up and haul them to a recycling center, and there were not very many of those, and it was a real problem. So to say that we're going to put in place, well, first of all, we're going to create incentives, because again, if you weren't just naturally green, you didn't recycle, because it was just too much of a pain in the neck. So to say that we're going to give people incentives to recycle through the bottle bill, to say that we're going to create an infrastructure for recycling. In this case, you can take the bottles to your grocery store or whatever and recycle them, was a really good idea 30 years ago. Okay. Now I hear, pretty much the same arguments being made for why the bottle bill is a good idea, or the expansion of the bottle bill is a good idea. But now it's easy to recycle. I recycle everything. I have it.
Recycling
Exactly. And I have to take my garbage to the curb too. So it's the same effort.
But there's an argument saying that recycling and gas tax is going to help us rebuilding the bridges and the roads. And now so many bridges are not useful anymore, and we have to fix all the bridges. So that fund could allocate into that area. What do you say about that?
It could do a lot of things. Trust funds in government are always red herrings. Social Security has a trust fund. Medicare has a trust fund. The highways have a trust fund. There's no money in the Social Security trust fund. These are accounting fictions. Money is fungible. It moves around. Interestingly enough, we don't have a schools trust fund. We don't have a police trust fund. We don't have a fire department trust fund. And yet we have schools, police, and fire departments. These are just simply functions of government, and government pays for them. And they're paid for out of our taxes. The creation of a trust fund tends to create this fiction of an idea that this tax is good because it's paying for something that you really want and really care about, and therefore you should vote for it. But no.
How about question 3? Question 3 សំណួរទី3គឺជាតកតងទៅនឹងរឿង project ដែលតកតងទៅនឹងបញ្ហា gambling លេងល្បែងចា ហើយមតិមួយចំនួនមានយោបល់ថាបើគេចង់បាន casino នៅក្បែរ town គេតើយើងមានបញ្ហាអីតែមតិមួយចំនួនទៀតមានបាននិយាយថាគេមិនចង់បាន casino សង់នៅក្រោយ backyard របស់គេទេចា So what I was saying was that helping the audience to understand that some people arguing that if they want casino project to be next to their backyard, what's wrong with saying yes to it? But some other people say they don't want casino to be built next to their backyard. So it's a 50-50 points of view here. What do you think about that?
Well, of course, the point of it is to try to make it so that the casinos can't be built, kind of a thing, to bog these things down. We have a situation, for example, Everett just got it, Revere wanted it, the mayor of the city of Boston wants Revere to have it. If you give the mayor of the city of Boston a veto over Everett, he'll use it, kind of a thing. And that's really what this is about, is should we have casinos or shouldn't we have casinos? If you have them, there are certainly going to be people affected by the fact that you have them. And the argument for casinos is an interesting one.
Right.
I mean, you know, I have had any number of people, you know, come to my office who really lost everything in their casinos.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
this is very interesting discussion. We would have to take a little break and because ពេលវេលារបស់ទូរទស្សន៍សម្លេងខ្មែរអាមេរិកនៅពេលនេះបានដល់ទីបំផុតហើយក៏ប៉ុន្តែអស់លោកស្រីទាំងអស់មេត្តាចាំរងចាំបន្តការពិភាក្សានេះតទៅទៀតនៅក្នុងទូរទស្សន៍សម្លេងប្រជាធិបតេយ្យចាដូច្នេះយើងខ្ញុំសូមគោរពលាទូរទស្សន៍សម្លេងខ្មែរអាមេរិកមួយរយៈសិនចាសូមអរគុណ
ដកចេញទៅ
សួរអស់លោកលោកស្រីប្រិយមិត្តទាំងអស់ជាទីគោរពស្នេហានេះគឺជាកម្មវិធីទូរទស្សន៍សម្លេងប្រជាធិបតេយ្យប្រចាំទីក្រុងឡូវ៉ាល់សូមទោសដោយមានការរអាក់រអួលបន្តិចក្នុងការរៀបចំកម្មវិធីយើងនេះដោយសារក្រុមជំនាញរបស់យើងបានធ្វើវិស្មការហើយធ្វើឲ្យមានការរអាក់រអួលបន្តិចបន្តួចក៏ប៉ុន្តែខ្ញុំបាទក៏សូមអរគុណអស់លោកលោកស្រីដែលបានតាមដាននៅកម្មវិធីរបស់យើងខ្ញុំដែរហើយក៏មានកិត្តិយសដោយបានអ្នកគ្រូវិញ្ញាណាបានសូមបន្តពេលវេលារបស់អ្នកស្រីដែលកំពុងពិភាក្សាកិច្ចការសំខាន់ពាក់ព័ន្ធដល់អាយុជីវិតរបស់យើងជាពិសេសក្នុងការធ្វើពន្ធដារដាក់ពន្ធដារនៅក្នុងពេលរយៈពេលបោះឆ្នោតថ្ងៃទី4ខែវិច្ឆិកាខាងមុខនេះបាទនេះគឺសំខាន់សូមឲ្យបងប្អូនតាមដានជាបន្តទៀតតែមុននឹងបន្តខ្ញុំបាទក៏សូមធ្វើការប្រកាសម្ដងទៀតបន្តពីលោកវឌ្ឍនាវ៉ែនដែលមានចែកប្រកាសពី3បន្តទៀតបាទគឺ